Hi children, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the second video of the topic Solving Quadratic Equations. To see more educational videos, please subscribe my channel and click on the bell icon. In this video, we are going to discuss how to solve a quadratic equation which you cannot factorize completely. For example, if you get a quadratic equation a squared plus 8a plus 10 equals to 0. Then, if you consider the quadratic expression a squared plus 8a plus 10, you cannot factorize it completely. The reason is that if you multiply the coefficient of the square term with the constant term, that is 1 into 10, therefore you cannot identify any factors where its addition equals to 8, where the coefficient of the linear term. In such situation, how to solve a quadratic equation? A quadratic equation where its quadratic expression cannot be factorized at once. That is why we are going to learn in this topic. Let's get a general expression of a quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, where a is the coefficient of the square term, b is the coefficient of the linear term, and c is the constant term. If you are not aware of this coefficient or the constant term, please refer to my initial videos. Then you can obtain the solutions of this quadratic equation in this formula x equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. What is this plus or minus indicates for? We know that for a quadratic equation we receive two answers. One answer you can receive by addition, that is x equals to minus b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, and the other solution is x is equals to minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. There is one more thing you have to remember clearly. This equation is the solution for any kind of quadratic equations. You can apply into quadratic equations where you are having the complete factors as well. We will learn one question to verify these facts in later on this video. If we consider this example, we need to find the solutions of the quadratic equation x squared plus 8x plus 10 is equals to 0. In this case, a become 1, that is the number in front of x squared is 1, and b become 8 and c become 10. Then if you substitute into the formula x equals to minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, you see that its x is equals to minus 8 plus or minus 8 squared minus 4 into 1 into 10 divided by 2 into 1. With that, if you simplify this, you will receive x equals to minus 8 plus or minus square root of 64 minus 40 divided by 2. That is minus 8 plus or minus square root of 24 divided by 2. That is x equals to minus 8 plus 2 root 6 divided by 2, or x equals minus 8 minus 2 root 6 divided by 2. With that, you will obtain the two answers for x would be minus 4 plus root 6, or minus 4 minus root 6. That is the exact solution of this quadratic equation. If you want to obtain the answer for certain significant levels, we can say x1 is equals to minus 1.55 and x is equals to minus 6.44, correct to three significant figures. If you want to solve this quadratic equation x squared plus 6x plus 4 equals to 0, here a is 1, b is 6 and c is equals to 4. Then if you substitute into the formula x equals to minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, the answer would be x equals to minus 6 plus or minus square root of 6 squared minus 4 into 1 into 4 divided by 2 into 1 with these figures. If you simplify this, you will obtain the answer x is equals to minus 8 plus or minus root 20 divided by 2. If you simplify, you will receive x1 is equals to minus 8 plus 2 root 5 divided by 2, or x is equals to minus 8 minus 2 root 5 divided by 2. I have represented it as x1 and x2 since you have two solutions, but it's not necessary to write x1 and x2. You can just write x and x. This doesn't matter. Therefore, you get the exact solution for this quadratic equation as x1 is equals to minus 4 plus root 5, or x is equals to minus 4 minus root 5. Correct to two significant figures, that would be x1 equals to minus 1.76 and x2 is equals to minus 6.24. In this example, we have to solve the quadratic equation 3x squared plus 8x plus 3 equals to 0, whereas this a is equals to 3, b is equals to 8 and c is equals to 3. If you substitute into the same equation, x equals to minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac, the square root divided by 2a. You will obtain the answer x equals to minus 8 plus or minus square root of 8 squared minus 4 into 3 into 3 divided by 2 into 3. With that, you get the answer x is equals to minus 8 plus 2 root 7 divided by 6, or x is equals to minus 8 minus 2 root 7 divided by 6. The 2 root 7 came from square root of 28 is 2 root 7. Square root of 28 came from 64 minus 36. You can understand from this simplification. With that, if you simplify this, you get the exact solution for this quadratic equation would be minus 4 plus root 7 divided by 3, or minus 4 minus root 7 divided by 3. What do you call this as exact solution? The reason is that root 7, you cannot write an exact finite decimal. It's an infinite decimal number. Therefore, if you want to get the exact value, you have to keep it into the surd form. Then the answer correct to three significant figures would be minus 0.45 or minus 2.22. I have specially added this question as here the coefficient of linear term or x term is minus 8. It's a negative answer. Therefore, a is equals to 2, b is equals to minus 8 and c is equals to 3. Then if you substitute into the equation x equals to minus b, so this value turn up into minus, b is minus 8, therefore it turn up to minus minus 8 plus or minus b squared minus 4ac, that is minus 8 squared minus 4 into 2 into 3 divided by 2. Here there is another common mistake where most of the students do. Inside the square root, they forgot to put the bracket over here. So therefore they just multiply minus 8 squared. So if you substitute the value into the calculator understand it as minus 8 squared. It won't consider as minus 8 whole thing squared. Therefore, remember always you have to put a bracket over here, and when you enter the calculator even, you have to be very particular with that. Therefore, you will obtain the answer x is equals to plus 8 plus or minus square root of 64 minus 24 divided by 4. With that, you will get x equals to 8 plus or minus root 40 divided by 4. With that, you can get x1 is equals to 8 plus 2 root 10. 2 root 10 came from square root of 40. Plus or minus would be the two different solutions. With that, you can get the final exact solution is x is equals to 4 plus root 10 divided by 2, or x equals to 4 minus root 10 divided by 2. With that, you can get the answer to three significant figures as 3.58 or 0.42. I have added this question to introduce another common mistake where most of the students do. Here, the coefficient of x squared or the square term is 2 and the coefficient of linear term is 5 and the constant term is minus 2. So when you substitute into the equation x equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, you have to be very particular. All the negative values you have to put it inside the bracket. The reason is that without the bracket, if you substitute, sometimes when you're doing the calculation, you may obtain a wrong answer. So with that, if you substitute, you will receive the answer x equals to minus 5 plus or minus 5 squared minus 4 into 2 into minus 2 divided by 2 into 2. With that, you will obtain x equals to minus 5 plus or minus square root of 25 plus 16 divided by 4. With that, you will get minus 5 plus or minus square root of 41 divided by 4. Then you get two separate solutions, minus 5 plus root 41 divided by 4 or minus 5 minus 4 root 41 divided by 4. That is the exact solution for this quadratic equation. Then if you obtain the three significant answer, that would be 0.350 minus 2.85. I told you at the beginning of this video, this equation is a universal equation. Therefore, irrespective from the quadratic equation, you can use this formula to obtain the final answer. So let's try to get this equation, x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals to 0. So you can say that this quadratic expression x squared plus 7x plus 12 is easily factorized into the form of x plus 3 into x plus 4. So if you substitute those factorized format, you can obtain the answer for x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals to 0 as x plus 3 into x plus 4 into 0. With that, you will obtain x equals to minus 3 and x equals to minus 4. That is the answer for this quadratic equation. If you are not much familiar with this the method, refer to my first video of this video series. Let's see if you substitute this formula whether you can obtain the same answer or not. Here the a value is 1, b value is 7 and c value is 12. If you substitute into the equation, x equals to minus 7 plus or minus 7 squared minus 4 into 1 into 12 divided by 2 into 1. With that, you will obtain the answer as minus 7 plus or minus square root of 49 minus 48 divided by 2. Square root of 49 minus 48 is square root of 1, that is obviously 1. So you can gain the answer x1 equals to minus 7 plus 1 divided by 2 or x is equals to minus 7 minus 1 divided by 2. So you can get the same answer, minus 3 and minus 4. Therefore, you can understand that whatever the quadratic equation, you can use this formula to obtain the final answers. This is another special situation. We will try to understand what the speciality in this question at the end of this question. Here we have to solve the quadratic equation x squared plus 10x plus 25 equals to 0. That means a equals to 1, b equals to 10 and c equals to 25. So if you substitute into the formula, you will obtain minus 10 plus or minus 10 squared minus 4 into 1 into 25. If you simplify 10 squared minus 4 into 1 into 25, you will obtain 100 minus 100, that will turn out to 0. Therefore, the solutions would be x equals to minus 10 plus or minus square root of 0 divided by 2. We know that whatever the square root for 0 would be 0. Then the final answer would be minus 10 plus 0 divided by 2 or minus 10 minus 0 divided by 2. Then you will obtain the same answer. x1 and x2 both answers are 5. Therefore, for this quadratic equation, you receive only one answer. But remember that it doesn't mean that quadratic equation have only two means like one answer. The idea is both answers are same. So this we call this kind of a situation as unique solutions or overlapping solution. You have to understand this clearly. Any quadratic equation contains two solutions, but here the both answers are same and it has reduced into a unique solution. Hopefully you have understood the contents in this video. If you have any doubt, please comment on the comment section. And if you like this video, please put a big thumbs up.